Kamdyn McIntosh was a threat in attack. Photo, Eddie. JimHawthorn did not wilt, however, applying 31 tackles in the first term, responding to Richmond's pressure with manic intensity of their own, laying 8 tackles inside their own forward 50. However, they could not stop two skillful Tigers from rising above the mayhem in front of 90,000 to kick goals and put a gap on Hawthorn in the second quarter. Inspirational moments that set the defending premiers up for a surging third term. Rioli was the first to excite the fans, kicking a goal as good as anyone sharing his surname has before, dribbling the ball under Hawthorn defender Blake Hardwick's attempt to smother, curling the ball through the goals. It was like watching a set of dominoes tumble as the ball followed the required path perfectly along the grass. But nothing could top Martin's effort in his 200th game when he rose above the ferocity to kick the most audacious goal of the game at the 19-minute mark of the second when just 3 points separated the two teams. He simply flew past a stoppage with tattoos blurring into the expectant crowd in the background, accepted a handball from Kane Lambert and kicking the ball around his body from somewhere near where cricketers walk out to bat on Boxing Day just before he crossed the boundary line. Richmond's Josh Caddy tangles with Daniel Howe. Photo, Our mouth shot never looked like missing as the crowd rose in waves as they realized last year's Brownlow medalist had managed to kick the impossible. It was enough to give all Tigers a feeling that the game was heading their way and they were not going to stumble at the first hurdle. Martin finished with 29 disposals, including 17 contested, and gained more than 500 meters in a virtuoso display. Loading soon after halftime, their pressure began to turn into Richmond goals as they piled on 5.636 to Hawthorn's 2.315 and opened up a 35-point lead in the Premiership quarter. They not only hit the scoreboard but they dominated territory, recording 22 inside 50s to the Hawks' 9 and looked threatening every time the ball hit the ground. It wasn't just Richmond's big names doing the damage either, with Kamdyn McIntosh kicking a career-high third major early in the third and Josh Caddy outstanding in both, curbing James Sicily's influence and kicking 2 of his own. There's nothing picturesque in the way Richmond played, but in the wet weather they played fast and ferocious football, happy to soccer the ball off the ground and keep it alive when clean possession wasn't possible. Dustin Martin kicks a stunning goal. Photo, Opti punched the ball forward and connected well in defense, either winning one-on-ones or running to support. Whatever move they made, they ensured Hawthorn had no respite. Eventually the Hawks, as most teams have done against the Tigers this season, lost their poise and crumbled. Yeager O'Meara was outstanding with his clean hands while Tom Mitchell was prolific but not overly productive. Jarman Impe tried to lift in the second half and create some run, but he was working against a tide of Tigers who just jumped upon any fumble. Richmond now sit in pole position and wait for their unlucky preliminary opponent while Hawthorn faces the winner of Melbourne and Geelong next Friday night. Richmond 3.2, 3.4, 10.1, 3, 13.17, 95, Hawthorn 4.0, 3.5, 5.8, 9.10, 64. Goals: Richmond, McIntosh 3, Rioli 3, Caddy 2, Martin, Prestia, Higgins, Edwards, Graham. Hawthorn, Roughead 3, Shields, Nash, Impe, Mitchell, Bruce, Smith. Best: Richmond, Martin, Cochin, Short, Vlastuin, Lambert, McIntosh, Caddy, Rioli, Grimes. Hawthorn, O'Meara, Henderson, Puapolo, Shields, Impe, Mitchell. Injuries: Hawthorn, Stratton, hamstring, Hardwick, hip, Schoenmakers, Achilles, replaced and selected side by Howe. Richmond, Rance, foot, Crow, 91,446 at the MCG, vote as Martin, Rich 9K Lambert, Rich 8 and Vlastuin, Rich 7T Cochin, Rich 7J O'Meara, Ha 7.